Hey guys, it's Emmy here at the Cookie Nook. Welcome back for another week of, sorry about that, cookie decorating. We are gonna do some unicorn cookies this week. All right, so as usual, we're gonna start with just massaging our bags, our icing bags, because some of the water could have separated out. So I know some of you guys are pros at this by now. But if this is your first time joining us, we just wanna make sure you mix those colors back up well before we get started, okay? And then once you have them mixed, and you might want to pause the video to mix them a little better, you are going to cut tips in the holes in the tips of your bag. So you'll need a pair of scissors, okay? We're going to do small holes. Now, you could do a little bigger on the white than on the two blues, because the blues are just for details this week. Our cookies are going to be flooded white. So we're going to start, let me do my white. I'll cut it and then show you. Okay, so there's the tip of my white. My blues, I'm going to go pretty tiny for now. If I need to go back and make them a little bigger, I will. So let's see, it's definitely a little tinier than my white, if you can see that. Okay? Cut my other blue. All right. So we're gonna start with flooding our unicorns. Okay, so they're gonna be all white to start. So you're gonna outline, you hold your bag so that the top of your bag is coming out between your thumb and your pointer. Okay, and you're gonna outline it. I like to knot my bag there, it gives me a better grip. And I just hold it like this. I put my elbow down on the table, and then I just move my wrist and guide where I want my icing to go. So I'm just gonna outline both of the unicorns to start. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna flood it. So flooding it just means you're filling it in. So you'll wanna kind of squeeze your bag a little bit more harder on this one when you're flooding, because you want a little more pressure. You want it to come out a little quicker. Okay, and you're just going around and around, making sure you're covering the whole unicorn with icing. If you're leaving blank spots, it's gonna be hard to get your icing to smooth out. You really want it to be covered. Okay, so that is your unicorn flooded. And then you shake it a little bit. You can either pick it up and shake it, or you can take your toothpick and shake it that way. And then if anything is running over the side, you just go around with your toothpick and clean it up. And then you can grab your little unicorn horn, and we're gonna just stick it on while your icing is wet. Okay? Put it where you would like. All right. And now we're gonna go and flood the other one. Fill it in, and then smooth it out. Give it a shake. Okay? And then unicorn horn. These things are so tiny. They're like, there we go. All right? So now we're gonna put these to the side because we want them to start to crust over a little bit before we add the hair. Put that one down. Okay, and now we're gonna move on to our star here. So again, we are flooding our star white to start. And then we're gonna give it like a marble look with the blues. So just start with outlining it. And then just like you did, we're gonna flood it. Okay, so now that it's white and you shake it out a bit to smooth it, I want you to add some random dots of your two different blues. And then you're gonna take your toothpick. You just really can't go wrong here. We're just swirling them together. So however you want. Okay, just swirl them around, mix them all up, and then maybe say, oh, I need a little darker blue somewhere, or a little bit more of the lighter blue. Okay, and then we have some sprinkles. All right, you have your sprinkle cup. And I always like to I go in like one corner of it. Just adds a little more texture and color. But you can put your sprinkles on however you'd like, okay? So this is our like little unicorn sprinkle. Unicorn star. All right, if you have a sprinkle kind of like this one that's sticking off the side, you can just take your toothpick and put it back on. I actually made this sprinkle mix with just the royal icing. So if you have icing left over, you can make your own sprinkles. You just pipe them into long lines on parchment paper or wax paper. So just long strips you do. And then you let them dry and then you cut them up. So that's what I did, and then I had some of the pearl sprinkles in a different bottle, and I just mixed those in. Okay, so we are gonna move on to the hair. Now, if you really want your hair to really sit on top of the unicorn and not melt into that white at all, if you want it to be a second layer, I would suggest that you pause the video. Oh, hold on. My son's coming in. I'm gonna pause this video. Okay guys, so I'm back and my cookies have now sat for at least 10 minutes, maybe even closer to 15. So now that they've sat and crusted over enough, I'm going to do the hair. Okay, so I'm gonna start just like a swirl here, and then just using my darker blue, I'm just gonna add some swirls all the way down. And then I'm gonna add an eye with some eyelashes. A little smile. do the same on this one. You just add some swirls. However you want, really. Okay, and then smile and eyes with some lashes. So that's why you wanted tiny holes. Could you see that? I hope so. You want tiny holes in the blue because it's just these details. You don't want big, thick, chunky eyes. So now you're gonna take your lighter blue and we're just gonna go right next to the darker blue. Oops. And just add some colors in there. And I'm gonna put a little heart on the cheek. Let's add in the swirls. And then you can always go back if you want with your darker blue, if you wanna add some more. And then, while the hair is wet, I'm gonna take my sprinkles. If you want, again, everything is optional here. You could do these however you want. You certainly don't have to follow what I do. All right, just however you wanna do it. Okay, oh, let me add the heart cheek here. All right, and those are my unicorn cookies. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions and let me see some pictures of what your unicorn cookies look like. All right, thanks for tuning in and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.